Hello, I'm Bert Bassett. I've been a business seller on eBay for over 20 years. I even worked for eBay for 11 years. I've helped thousands of sellers of all sizes to grow their sales on eBay. Now I'm creating videos to help you. In this video, we're going to talk about why search rank is important. Wouldn't have thought that I'd need to say this, but actually I've got a comment in one of my previous videos where someone said, I don't believe it matters at all. This was about improving your titles. Just have the popular item and list it for cheap, automatically sold, guaranteed. That's not really why we're here, though, is it? If I wanted to take an incredibly desirable object and sell it cheaply, I could. That wouldn't require any skill whatsoever. The reason we concentrate on these things is because we want to sell more, we want to sell quicker, and we want to sell for more. And not all of our items are necessarily the most popular things in the world or the cheapest things in the world. So let's do a quick summary of what I'm going to say in this video, again, so that you can just stop if you don't want to listen to the whole thing. Firstly, we're going to talk about why it's worth putting the effort into improving your search ranking. Then secondly, we're going to talk about remembering that you want to be top for the searches you care about. Effectively, again, we're thinking about normal human being behavior. You don't want to be top necessarily for the high level keywords. You want to be top for the kind of searches that people are making if they're looking for an item which is like the item that you sell. So you don't have to be winning eBay in order to do well in search, because actually you may be performing really quite well for lower level keywords. And we'll do lots of videos about how to improve your search ranking and the things you can do, and actually some of the detailed stuff about how search actually works on eBay in other videos. This is just to get you on board this video. Now, the other thing we'll just run through is that top results sell a lot of stuff and they sell it for more money as well. Just if you were doubting the fact that it mattered about your search position, it really matters. And then obviously we'll talk about the fact that the first page of search is like a step change. Once you got to the first page of search for the types of keywords that you want, you're going to see differences in volume, you're going to see differences in conversion speed, and you should be able to charge more money as well. So we do a simple search for t-shirt here. And then what we're going to do is just pick out a few listings based on the position they are in search. And so what we're going to look at here is we're going to look at this first one, which is top result. But obviously it's sponsored, so it's probably promoted listings priority. It used to be called promoted listings advanced. Then what we'll do is we'll look at this one here. It's Fruit to the Loom one, which doesn't have sponsored. It's in position 5, means it's the top organic result. There's no promoted listings on this one. Then what we'll do for fun is we'll go to the pagination, and the pagination is the name for, scroll quite a long way. Pagination is for the numbers at the bottom here. So we go to page 2, and I've opened that page already. And then we'll go to page 2. We'll ignore the sponsored on page 2, but we'll look at this top organic result on page 2. And then just for fun, because the top organic result was Fruit to the Loom, what we'll do is we'll look at another Fruit to the Loom similar listing that's further down in search. So we go to Terapeak, and I'll do a video on Terapeak. It's in the research tab and product research in your seller hub. And then what you can do is when you've found an item, you can either type in the item number, which is listed halfway down the item page, or you can just type in the title of the object. So we can look at this, and this is the Fruit to the Loom kids t-shirt, plain boys girls school PE short sleeve tee lot, and the sales in the last 7 days are 21, and that was the top promoted result. So this was number 1 in search position with its promoted listings priority. Then we look at this one, Fruit of the Loom men's t-shirt, plain cotton short sleeve t-shirt, T-top new. Now this one, as you recall, was the top organic result. Now there's a few issues here which we can put a pin in and talk about in some other videos going forward. What you'll note is there's actually 6 listings with exactly the same title, and we'll get to this, but these 5 here are all piggyback listings which have just seen a good title, obviously, and stolen the title, and they're using it themselves, but they're not the same seller. The seller that we were looking at is this top one here. Now, their top organic, they sold 348 in this same period, the last 7 days. Then when we move on, actually, before we move on, just one last thing. I mean, remember, this is effectively an identical listing. This is £4.58. The top listing is £4.71. So this is cheaper and it's the same, but it's not selling as much and it's not as high in search. And I'll do a bit of a video about why is my item good and cheap and still not top of search. And I'll be able to explain that, but we'll do that in another video. Moving on. This is the first organic result in page 2. So this was this one. And as you can see, in the period, it has sold 2. Again, in the last 90 days. In fact, I must have extended this because it had sold so very little. So it sold very, very little indeed. And it's on the second page of search. Then we'll just look at this other Fruit of the Loom I found, which was on page 2 of search. Superficially pretty similar to the other one. Again, only 2 sales. And I think the point we're trying to make here, and you can use Terapeak yourself, as ever, don't just listen to me. Facts beat opinions, so don't just listen to my opinion. But I think it's pretty uncontroversial to say that search position is really important. The other lesson I always say is think what a normal human being would do. It's there alongside, why does eBay do this? But think what a normal human being would do. Nobody goes to page 2 of search. Most people are lazy. They'll have a little looky-loo at the top results and they'll click on one. And they don't actually like sponsored as much, and people are aware that organic is better. But on that basis, you kind of know that being right at the top of search is really important. Being on the first page of search is pretty important. Anything thereafter, you're dead in the water as far as volume is concerned. What you may not realize, if you're not hitting those heights of search, is quite how powerful eBay can be and quite how much it can do for you in terms of growing your sales. When I started seriously selling on eBay a number of years ago, started selling a particular type of cat toy. And you can see 10,000 sold. Ka-ching. I wanted to win in search, and when you type in tissue paper cat toy, came up number 1. But remember, it's specific pages that you want to win. I was always going to win tissue paper cat toy because there, quite frankly, aren't too many tissue paper cat toys in existence. So then I worked hard, got my listings as improved as I possibly could, built up my sales, and I'll go through a few methods in another video about how you improve your search position once you've got your titles and your images and your description and all of that stuff perfect. It's like, what else can you do to be better in search? I can run you through all that, and we'll do so in another video. Then I got into cat toys, and look, you search for cat toys, I'm number 1 at the moment because I'm running sponsored listings. But if I wasn't running sponsored listings, I'd be around the top organic positions here. But even now, I know that there's still work for me to do, because if you type in just the word cat, which is like an incredibly high level keyword for me, people just randomly searching for things for your cat. I have 240 search results per page. And when I scroll down, you'll find me 2/3 of the way down. So I'm not really even in the top 100 for the keyword cat. And so therefore I could probably work a bit harder in order to do well. Also bear in mind, just for advice, almost no one has 240 results per search page. You're actually aiming for top 24 or top 20 ideally, to get yourself onto the first page of search. And when you look at your traffic reports on eBay, you will coincidentally see that one of the metrics it specifically calls out is how many impressions you get in the top 20. That's pretty much the broad key performance indicator for, am I doing well in search? Just to reinforce that point, when you're in performance and traffic in Seller Hub, what you'll see here is it calls out the top 20 search impressions for your entire account. It also gives you rest of search and non-search. Don't be fooled by the 7.3, 3.3 stuff. The non-search impressions are pretty much only generated by promoted listings. So discount those and really look at the ratio you've got here in terms of 18,000 impressions, top 20, 8,000. So in fact, I'm about 60 something percent top 20 search overall as an account. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Then if you scroll all the way down, you can see that actually on this page, you can download individual item results by taking the Excel spreadsheet download from this point here. But it tells me what my change in top 20 search impressions here. It tells me what my change in non-search impressions is. But actually, if you click on the download, it'll tell you the absolute numbers for that, for each individual one that you have. And that way, again, it's just another way of testing what you do. When you make changes to your listing, is it increasing the amount of top 20 impressions you have? When you do an advertising campaign, especially if you do promoted listings priority, it's going to massively increase the amount of top 20 search slot impressions that you get. This is just another way of monitoring whether something is an opinion or a fact. Like, are my changes actually working? Look at the numbers. So just to summarize at the end, by now, hopefully you're convinced it's worth putting in the effort, and you'll watch all of my other videos about the kind of efforts that you need to put in. You'll start thinking about the type of searches that you actually care about and looking for those search results there. Like, check and monitor this stuff. You also know how to monitor that on a mathematical level, so you can be really precise about measuring the changes that you've made. You're also on board with the idea that top results sell a lot of stuff, and that you can potentially make more money as a result, and you're going to be hitting the first page of search. So, like, good luck in your travels, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Cheers, bye.